Mr. Transformers 96 here in the video, and we're talking about a new Transformers custom. This time it is Nitro Zeus. Now, of course, I've done a Nitro Zeus custom before. However, I was not happy with it completely, and I made it clear in the video that I would most likely do an update to it. Now that the movie is out on digital and on Blu-ray, I've seen great, high definition images of Nitro in the film, and therefore I could really see what needs to be painted like and like the tattoos and everything like that. So I basically completely redid the figure. I didn't just add the tattoos or anything. I redid it because I was never quite happy with the shade of the whitish gray that I had, and I needed to add more to make it more accurate, and I needed to add the tattoos, and I needed to fix his right arm weapon. So that's basically what I did here. So I basically completely redid this figure. It was basically more work than it was the first time. So this isn't just like a small update or anything. It's a complete update. I did completely change it. So let's get into it. I will say that I'm very happy with it now. Before it always felt like it was missing something, and now I am perfectly happy with it, and it fits in with the other Decepticons from last night so much better in my eyes. So let's go over it. Of course, I obviously have him with the Shockwave head if you haven't seen my original custom of Nitro. Shockwave head, of course, which obviously is accurate to the movie. Now that the concept art for Shockwave has been released, we do know for sure that the head that actually comes on the standard release a Nitro, I might have said Shockwave. Now that we have the concept art for Nitro, we know for sure that the head that comes on the Nitro figure was concept art, because that was exactly the head that was on the concept art image of him. So obviously that's why he doesn't have the Shockwave head in as the figure. Going over the paint though, I tried a bunch of different shades. I tried different mixtures of whites and grays and things, and I ended up going with a gray, and not even a white, but it was a very light gray. It was called like a rainy day gray, something like that. And I think that worked out so much better. It left a much smoother paint job, which I really liked. For some reason, the glossy white that I had really didn't settle on the plastic very well. Like, I mean, it would completely dry and be strong and everything, but it would have like a bumpy texture to it, which I was really never happy with. But this rainy day gray really lays on it very flat, very clean, looks great. So I much prefer that shade of gray. And I think that it fits him a lot better too. The white was a little too bright, because in the movie he is, like a whitish, but it's very beaten up, and it does have a darker tint to it. So I think this gray is the perfect shade in my eyes. I think that definitely looks great. I also added gray on the arms to help fill it in, because before it was more like the arms were like black over here, and then they had the weapons on it. So I decided to paint the arms gray. I think that looks much better. I think that it ties it in a lot more. Also, I was able to see that the knee pads actually have this big piece in the middle is black. Also, these sections have black on the inside, so I was able to do that and paint the gray on it. And then I just painted some more items gray here, as well as he had some like these copper bits, like these were like a flat copper, same thing like right here. I painted those silver. I think that looks much better as well. I think that really helps tie it in. I tried to leave some of the Decepticon symbols intact, like on his chest there. I didn't paint that, just to leave the Decepticon symbol there. Left them on the boosters there. Also on the stripes on the boosters, I painted those gray. The rockets, I painted silver instead of white. I think that looks much better. That was kind of like a last minute decision, and I think that helps so much better. And I added the tattoos. So getting a close look at the tattoos, they're basically gibberish. They're mainly just kind of symbols and like Cybertronian type of things, kind of spray painted on in graffiti fashion. So I tried to get the general essence of it, but I didn't go like word for word, because you really can't even see what it's actually saying, even with a perfect clarity. So I just kind of just kind of did it as close as I could to what I could see. The only thing that did make sense on his tattoos is on the booster here. He has an O and an X that's underlined, so I was able to do that easily. But then again, the yellow is just kind of randomly painted on, so I just added that like that. And that's really the only places that he has tattoos. He doesn't actually have them on the other side, so I was just able to add them there. I like that a lot. I think it adds some color to him, and it adds to his punk persona, which was there with his necklace. However, was lacking on the rest of the figure. So having the tattoos really help with that. persona that he's got. Also with his gun arm here, I was originally going to just attach something on here to kind of give him that cone look, because he has like this cone section that goes up, and then it struck me to actually just pop these off, and because these are obviously facing down, so just pop them off, and they pop off very easily, and just pop them back on the other way, and then attach them, and you've got this perfect little cone section. It's excellent, and it'll still allow you to transform them, because if you want to transform this guy, you can just pop them back off and pop them back on the right way. Also, the little like wing section down here, I did pop that off just because it looks so much better with it removed. I would do that even if you're like not customizing your Nitro. I would just pop that thing off, because it's an eyesore that like hangs down too far. So I would totally recommend just popping that off. But anyway, now with the cone section here, he does have like this wire or rope kind of attached to it. So I was able to take this posable wire that I used for my Dreadbot custom for his Christmas lights, and I was able just to pose it on and wrap them on. I didn't glue them or anything, specifically so I could transform him. I personally don't like transforming custom figures, so I have no intentions of transforming him. However, whenever I do a custom, I get so many people asking if he's transformable, and so I'm tempted to kind of do them in ways where they'd still be transformable, just because you guys seem to really care about that. For me though, I really could care less, especially since I have another Nitro that is just an average one, so I can transform that one and things. But here's a little comparison to see the changes a bit. It's completely different. There's very few things that are the same, and as you can see, like the arms are completely black. That has like the silver arm cannon. I really hate that. So I think this looks much better in the way that I've added more gray to it. Also, just those dumb things on it, like the L on the thigh there, and like the number on the right shoulder, just look really bad. So I'm so much happier with those things off. And then I think that the wire on the cone, the tattoos, and the necklace really help with that punk persona, which is so important to the Nitro Zeus character in the film. So I'm very happy to have that stuff on it, and I do think that is a good representation for Nitro Zeus here. So giving you a comparison, here he is with the other Decepticon punks, I guess you can say, or Ironhide would say, but it really fits them for the last night. So yes, I'm very happy. So, they're basically complete. The only one that I'm not happy with that I don't have out here is my Mohawk one, simply because obviously Mohawk, I didn't have any base to go off of. With all these other characters, either I had a complete figure to go off of, like Nitro or Barricade, or I had previous figures that the new figures are based off of. Like here I had Ironhide for Onslaught, and here I had Berserker / Crankcase for Dreadbot. So I had other things to go off of, but with Mohawk, of course, he's a completely unique design, which they never made a figure of. So I kind of had to throw that together myself. I'd be very interested in redoing Mohawk and really trying to do a movie accurate one. I'm not quite sure how to do it. I did just buy some like epoxy putty, which I haven't messed around with at all yet, and I have no idea how to sculpt things. So maybe I give that a try and see how I can do, and maybe once I get comfortable with it, I might be able to sculpt a head for him. That would be excellent, and because this Decepticon team is looking really sharp in my opinion. So to have Mohawk there would be excellent as well. And then I am thinking, why not just paint Megatron? I get a lot of requests to do him. He's going to be a big project considering he's a leader, so he's a very large figure. But I do think that he would probably be worth giving a paint job to, simply so that he'd fit in with the team. I don't think that he's screaming for one, because he does need one, but I just, for me, it's not super important. But just so that he fits in with these other Decepticon figures, it would be cool to get like a fully customized Transformers: The Last Night movie accurate team going on. That would be pretty freaking sweet. So I am thinking that I might and probably will eventually do Megatron, and I am really hoping that I can do Mohawk soon here as well. So there you go. Very much enjoy Nitro from the movie. He's probably, yeah, I would say that he's my favorite Decepticon from The Last Knight. So to have a figure that I'm really truly happy with, because I was certainly happy with the things that I did to customize the last one. However, it was never like complete in my eyes. I was kind of just always waiting to get those high definition images to fix up the tattoos and things. And I had always kind of been coming up with ways to maybe add the cone section on the arm. So now to get that fully complete and to get the shade of paint that I'm very happy with, it just really completes the figure, and I'm completely happy. So that's my custom Transformers Nitro Zeus from The Last Knight. Let me know what you guys think of this updated custom, and thanks so much for watching.